Hi, welcome to this edition of Columbus Motor Speedway for May 15th, 1999. The NAMARS Midgets are with us for their first time for this season. And once again, we would like to thank very much John and Cheryl Strobel of Strobel Inc. for the nice paint job they did on our van. And in a moment, Gary Lee will have the call of the NAMARS Midgets. And then Jeff Knuckles and Bob Neubauer with the call of the NASCAR Winston Racing Series Super Late Models, Street Stocks, and Sportsmen.
Lineup now for heat race number one, inverted, the fast one's on the rear. As is the policy with NAMARS, the rookie drivers will start at the back of these heat races. So the front row, on the inside, number 98, Larry West. West in 98. Outside the front row, in number 66, is Tony Baber. Baber in 66. In the second row, on the inside, car number 9 is Jason Fuller. Fuller in 9. Outside row 2 in car number 14N is Kevin Newton. Newton in 14. In the third row on the inside, car number 5G, Larry Gibson. Gibson in 5G. Outside in car number 67, your fast qualifier, Sarah Fisher. Fisher in 67. In the fourth row on the inside, car number 7P is Robbie Parrish. Parrish in 7. Outside row 4, car number 45 is another rookie, Kelly Pendleton. Kelly Pendleton in number 45. And rounding out the field, alone in row 5, number 26 did not qualify. No qualifying time for Aaron Pierce. Pierce in 26. Well, we'll keep an eye at the back of the pack, see what the young lady can do. Fast qualifier in that blue number 67. As they work off the corner of the green flag, and a good start for West. Almost 3 wide, but West got a good start and leads the parade down the backstretch. Look at Newton, 3 wide down into turn 3, makes the pass on the high side. Moves up to second position, comes off the corner, 1 lap down. Here comes Sarah on the inside. Only 5 will transfer. They're back in that 5th and final transfer position. Works to the inside of Gibson going into 3, but cannot make the pass. Now tucks in, may have the pass coming off of 4. Moves up to 4th position. West continues to show the way. Newton rides in 2nd, and Sarah is up to 3rd. Gibson up to 4th. Now making the move on the inside is Robbie Parrish in that black number 7, the new Predator chassis. Now he moves up to the 5th spot. Now Sarah gets to the inside of Newton and goes to 2nd position. And now sets sail for Larry West. Halfway, 4 laps down, 4 laps to go. Sarah has the inside line. There's contact between the 2 leaders. More contact. And somehow they all make it by as Larry slides to a stop over there in turn 2. Larry West can do in the final half of this heat race. Newton picks up the throttle off the corner. There is the green flag. Gets just a great jump. But look at Robbie Parrish. Parrish tried the high line, did not work down the backstretch. About 3 car lengths now separating 1st and 2nd. Here comes Gibson trying to close to 2nd position. Obviously something wrong with the 67. Fisher. A big push, a lot of tire smoke, and she heads off into the infield. So she'll watch this race from the infield. 6 laps now complete. So right now the battle is for the 5th and final transfer spot. What can West do? Down the backstretch. Takes a look at the inside. Almost more contact. There is the white flag. Looks like Baber's going to hang on and take 5th position. So Newton takes the victory. Gibson went 2nd. 3rd was Robbie Parrish. Jason Fuller went 4th, and 5th was Tony Baber. So those 5 will transfer. In the 4th row on the inside, number 2B is Kevin Biesecker. Biesecker in 2B. Outside, number 81 is Tim Spindler. Spindler in 81. Second fast qualifier this evening. So there's your lineup for heat race number 2. Once again, 8 laps. Inverted start. Top 5 will transfer. off the corner, pick up the throttle. Good start for number 45. Still 2 by 2, nose to tail in the corner. In formation off the second turn. Now they start to spray down the back stretch. Bryce Kenyon up in the 5th position, the final transfer spot, as Gene Lee Gibson goes to the inside of Turner, makes the pass for 3rd spot, but here comes Gibson back, or make that Turner back on the high side. Almost get together over in turn 3. Here comes Bryce Kenyon to the inside. The 2 yellow cars now side by side, as Bryce tries to bully his way to the inside position and take that 4th spot. And look at that move on the high side by Gene Lee Gibson. Gene Lee up to the lead and starts to pull away, puts a gap between 1st and 2nd. Myers rides in 2nd, being challenged for that position by the high-moving number 53 of Turner. Side by side into turn 3, and Turner's going to make the move on the high side and take the position. Look at 3 wide down the front stretch. Second on the inside, that black number 2, and look at the gap between 1st and 2nd. 5 laps now complete, 3 laps to go. The battle is back there for that 5th final transfer position. Beesecker has it right now, that black number 2. He looks to the inside of the 45 car. The 45 car gets very, very sideways, and here comes Kevin on the inside and takes that position. Now look at that battle for 5th. And your second fast qualifier, number 81, Spindler, goes into a transfer position. This race has been all Gene Lee Gibson. Bryce Kenyon up there in the 3rd spot. Beesecker has 4th as the checkered flag comes out for Gene Lee. And Spindler goes in 5th. So Gene Lee Gibson picks up the heat win. Turner goes second, Beasley in 97B. Outside in 4B is Mark Boyce. Boyce in 4B. The second on the inside, the black number 71 of Wayne Chin. Chin in 71. Outside is the 7S of Todd Sears. Sears in 7S. The third row on the inside, number 38, is Dave Baumgartner. Baumgartner in 38. And outside in number 56 is Bob Ciccone. Ciccone in 56. Rounding out the field alone in row 4 will be number 34, Mark Longworth. Longworth at 34. Understand that off the corner, they drag race down for the green flag. There it is. Boyce on the high side. Oh, some contact made right there, and Boyce takes the lead off the corner down the backstretch. There goes Wayne Chin in the 2nd position. Wayne up on the high side. Hang on, Wayne. Here comes Ciccone on the inside. Ciccone up to 4th. Wayne Chin goes for 2nd position. Now he's going for the lead, side by side off the corner. Look at Ciccone, duck to the inside. And Chin stays on the high side. Ciccone stays down low. And your leader is Boyce. Now can Wayne Chin keep his momentum off the corner? Yes, indeed. He takes the lead down the backstretch. Look at Baumgartner on the inside of Ciccone. Baumgartner on the inside hub rail, if we had one down there, is in 4th position. Ciccone is hanging out there on the outside groove, side by side. He's outside of the 4 car of Mark Boyce. Oh, and there's contact between Boyce and Ciccone. Ciccone loses a position. More contact between Baumgartner as he got the rear bumper of Boyce. Now Baumgartner goes to the high side. Ciccone stays down low. That's the battle for 3rd. And here comes Sears. Sears goes to the 5th position. Wayne Chin is well out in front, but cannot imagine what's going on behind him right now. Great battle for 2nd. And look at Baumgartner on the inside. Slices by on the inside and takes 2nd position. 3rd now is Boyce. The 4th position is still Ciccone. There's the white flag. And here comes Sears on the inside of Ciccone. Sears making a move, the 2 yellow cars. Sears on the inside, Ciccone on the high side. And here comes Sears back again. So Wayne Chin will take the victory. Baumgartner will go in 2nd, and Boyce then Ciccone, and then Sears. So Wayne Chin takes the victory in heat race number 3.
Limited Sportsman Trophy Dash. Fastest 4 Limited Sportsman qualifiers starting inside of row number 1. Fourth quick here tonight, Tom Jones. And alongside in, I believe that's Jones's first ever dash appearance, alongside Bob Gruball. Second quick inside of row number 2, Jimmy Kidd. He was second quick here tonight. Fast qualifier Sean Gray starts out back. 4 cars, 4 laps, your fastest 4 Limited Sportsman Trophy Dash on the Speedway. Gruball in that outside group looking for a lane as they race down the backstretch. Tom Jones again, his first, I believe, career dash appearance. Now Gruball sideways in turn 4. And that oil spill down there earlier, apparently 3 and 4 still suffering a little bit from that. It'll work its way in. We're just about to complete lap number 2, halfway through this. Tom Jones still shows the way. Now the battle is for second between Jimmy Kidd in the gold 25 and Bob Gruball. White flag for Tom Jones this time. Jones is about now a car length ahead. Gruball continues to slip back in that outside groove. Kidd will lower his sights on your leader, but it's going to be too late. The winner, Tom Jones. Second goes to Jimmy Kidd. Third was Sean Gray. And Bob Gruball rounds out the top 4. Starting first in car 23, John Matthews. First appearance of 1999 for Matthews. Flanking him in car 61. It's Mark Jordan. Jordan in 61. The second row, Jeremy Dennis in the 50 car. And 31 of Jim Hersey. Paul Baker Jr. starts inside of row 3. Beside him in that car this evening, Phil Gussler Sr. Gussler in 42. Then comes the 24 car of Jim Whitridge, and out back 43, Mike Schweier. Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy ride as John Matthews trying to catch up with Mark Jordan before the start. Green is out, and that'll be a false start, a ragtag start. Trying to keep up this time with Matthews. Off of turn 4, green is out. Matthews leads through turns 3 and 4, or 1 and 2 rather, down the backstretch. And we got synchronized spinning on the backstretch. Caution on the Speedway. Now Phil Gussler off the pace in car 42. Trouble with that car. Now Gussler rolling once again. Meantime, John Matthews out front. The battle is for the second position between Jeremy Dennis and Mark Jordan. Matthews with his first appearance of 1999 showing the way in the first heat race. Jordan again to the outside of Jeremy Dennis. 2 laps complete. Now 3 laps down, they'll be halfway through this one. Jordan trying to muster some strength in that second lane. He'll go after Jeremy Dennis down into turn number 3. Both drivers trying to hang on to John Matthews. Halfway, 4 laps are down. Also a good battle back in the pack. Mike Schweier is caught up with Paul Baker Jr. He and Jim Whitridge trying to find Schweier and Whitridge, along with Baker back there for that 4th through 6th position. It's still John Matthews, your leader. White flag in hand, starts Jim Paul. Now we got trouble down in turn 2. Matthews off the track. He'll fall to 5th spot. Give the lead to Mark Jordan. Through turn 3 and 4, your leader and winner, Mark Jordan in car 61. There's your 10. The driver is John Strobel. In row number 2, car 22, Donald Parsons. In car number 2, Don Gregory Jr. Then comes the 26 car, being driven tonight by Scott Stevens. And in that row along with him, 17, Dave Ritchie Jr., Mike Brown, and Jamie Hunt round out the field for the second Limited Sportsman Heat Race. Here we go. We're underway. John Strobel pulls out ahead of Sam Spadaro. Strobel will lead down the backstretch. Now Don Gregory Jr. makes his way around Sam Spadaro. Spadaro falls to 3rd. They'll complete lap number 2 this time. Gregory, the feature winner 1 week ago, dips at the heels of John Strobel. He'll try to slip to the inside on the backstretch, but nothing doing. Here comes Dave Ritchie Jr. in that outside lane, trying to take over 5th spot. And give Ritchie 5th position. And maybe he and Stevens still go at it. They'll be halfway through this 8-lapper this time. And we got trouble in turn 4. Dave Ritchie Jr. And apparently John Strobel says no boss. Sort of trouble with the 10 car, so we will start without him. He pulls into the infield. Green is out. Four laps are down this time. Don Gregory Jr., the leader. Donald Parsons runs 2nd, 3rd. Mike Brown. Brown enters the event leading the point standings. White flag this time for the 2nd generation driver from Columbus, Gregory. Down the backstretch he goes through turn 3 and 4. Got that new sponsor last Saturday night and won the feature tonight. The heat race goes to Don Gregory Jr., Donald Parsons, Mike Brown, Sam Spadaro, and Scott Stevens complete the field in tonight's 2nd Limited Sportsman Heat tonight's feature event. The lineup will go like this. Pat Altop in 37-19. That is Mark Graybot. 2nd row, Tracy Brigner in 12 and 16, J.R. Groves. Then comes Bubby Scott in car number 7 and 83, Ryan Goodflesh. And then on the tail in car 99, Ken Wheeler. Here we go. 8 laps, the Limited Sportsman last chance race. Mark Graybot, Pat Altop, 1st and second, and comes J.R. Groves. Now Groves up to that second position. Keep in mind, we're looking for the top 4 finishers. Brian Goodflash trying to move up the 4th spot. He and Altop, a tight battle through turns 3 and 4. Your leader is still Mark Graybach. Goodflash looks to the inside of Bubby Scott for 3rd position, but nothing doing. We're halfway through this one.
And that noise you heard was our loss of the audio. The announce from the tower, Jeff Knuckles, Bob Dubauer, and Gary Lee. You were not supposed to be hearing white flag comes out for Mark Freibot, your leader. You were not supposed to be hearing my voice once again in this videotape, but especially plans of mice and men, we have an audio problems evidently from the tower. Mark Freibot's going to win this one. J.R. Groves comes home second. Third will go to the 7 car of John Farrell, 83. That is Brian Goodflesh. Late model trophy dash up next. Kevin Miller on the pole. Outside of him is the 35 of Buddy Schrock. Inside row number 2, car number 0, Donnie Zero Hill. And outside of him, the number 7 of Dick Dunleavy Jr. 4 cars, 4 laps, late model trophy dash coming at you. And we were going to call that one a false start. They pick up the pace coming out of turns 3 and 4. Green flag flies and we are racing. Kevin Miller, your leader, Buddy Schrock and Donnie Zero Hill battling for that second position. And rounding out your top 4, Dick Dunleavy in the 7 car. A little wiggle from the Zero machine. They touch over in turn 4. Zero Hill backs out of it. Buddy Schrock takes over that second position. Dick Dunleavy still runs in 4th. The 29 of Kevin Miller. Donnie Zero Hill staying right on the back bumper of the 35 of Buddy Schrock. Your winners, the 29 of Kevin Miller. Car number 35, Buddy Schrock, comes in second. Even though Zero Hill thought he was number 1. And Donnie Zero Hill finishes 3rd, and Dick Dunleavy Jr. rounds out your 4-car field for the late model trophy dash. Number 1 for the late models, Ted Johnson on the pole. Outside of him, Burgess White in the 59 machine. Inside, row number 2 is Robbie Dean. Outside of him, the Jerry Mitchell machine, car number 6. Inside row number 3 waiting for the camera to catch up. Inside row number 3 is Rob Patrick in the 97. Outside of him, the 2 of Chris Moore. Your leader is a 75 to Ted Johnson. Robbie Dean runs second. Third belongs to Jerry Mitchell with Burgess White rounding out the top 4 cars. Rob Patrick running in fifth. Ted Johnson, car number 75, your leader. Back to pack, Buddy Townsend and Chris Moore mix it up just a little bit. Robbie Dean still second, Jerry Mitchell third. Now Mitchell looks to the high side of Dean as Buddy Townsend looks to the inside of the Chris Moore machine towards the back of the pack. And problem with Robbie Dean, smoke coming out of that car. He drops to the inside of the track. And Robbie Dean, the car running second, and you can see that big oil streak coming out of that car. I think that car lost the motor in a big way. Sure looked like there was a lot of fluids coming out of that car. Maybe not, because we keep racing. Ted Johnson, your leader, white flag. One more lap to go for Ted Johnson. Jerry Mitchell right on his back bumper now. And your winner will be car number 75, Ted Johnson. Jerry Mitchell runs second. Burgess White finishes third. Race number 2 for the late models. And they're going to line up this way. On the pole is car number 1, Terry Humphrey. Outside of him, Don Wetnall in the 81. Larry Harris and Mike Ward there. I know I missed the second row. Paired. White, our green flag comes out, we are racing. Jerry Humphrey and Don Wetnall in the front row. Jerry Jones now falls back to the 4th position, and Scott Drake runs 3rd in the 11 machine. As Humphrey and Wetnall continue to battle side by side for the lead. Now Scott Drake looks to the inside of Don Wetnall for that second position. Or excuse me, yeah, for the second position. And Scott Drake now runs second in the 11th machine, and he closes on your leader, car number 1, Terry Humphrey. Jerry Jones still runs in the 4th position in car number 23. Terry Humphrey, your leader. Scott Drake right on his back bumper in second. A little slip by Scott coming out of the turn 4 area. Lost a couple of car lengths on the number 1 of Terry Humphrey. Humphrey still your leader. Scott Drake running second. Don Wetnall, Jerry Jones. The top 4 cars. Now Larry Harris looks to the inside of Mike Ward for the 5th position. So 5th place, heating up just a little bit. Side by side for 5th place now. Larry Harris, slight advantage on Mike Ward. Harris takes over that 5th position. Ward back to 6th. Your leader is still the 1 of Terry Humphrey. Don Wetnall, your 3rd place car, and Scott Drake running second. White flag, 1 lap to go. Terry Humphrey, your leader. And your winner, car number 1, Terry Humphrey. Scott Drake will come home second. Don Wetnall 3rd. Jerry Jones rounds out your top 4. Coming out on the track now, 58 is Ken White, 01 is Fred Reichert, then it's the 33 Dean Fusco, the 3 of Gary Carter. Inside row number 3, 00 Rick Stone, and the 26 of Bill Cantley. Cantley with a problem. The car jumps to the high side over in turn 2. Bill Cantley, car number 26. He got here late tonight. Didn't even get a qualifying time. Stone. Fred Reichert, your leader. Gary Carter looking inside. He runs second. Now Carter underneath in turn 2. They're side by side down the back stretch. Still side by side through turns 3 and 4. Carter slight advantage down the front straightaway. Fred Reichert now runs second in the 01 machine. Gary Carter, your leader. Fred Reichert running second. Third belongs to Dean Fusco. And fourth place is I'm not sure. Oh, I'm trying to see. It's the Ken White machine. In fourth place as the white flag comes out, 1 lap to go for Gary Carter, your leader. Fred Reichert making the last minute charge down the back straightaway. Through turns 3 and 4, your winner will be car number 3, Gary Carter. Fred Reichert comes home second. Third will go Dean Fusco. Ken White will finish in that fourth and final transfer position. Street stock fast car dash. They're going to line up this way. Bobby Stacy and Bo Davis. The 07 of John Morgan. Outside of him, the 77. Tonight's fast qualifier, Don Townsend Jr. Stacy, your leader. John Morgan running second. Good battle for that third position between Don Townsend Jr. and Bo Davis. Now Townsend Jr. gets by Bo Davis on the inside, looks to the high side of John Morgan for that second position. Bobby Stacy still your leader. John Morgan runs second, barely over the 77 of Don Townsend Jr. Now Townsend Jr. side by side down the backstretch with John Morgan for second. White flag, 1 lap to go. Bobby Stacy, still your leader. John Morgan now, slight advantage over Don Townsend Jr. It's going to be close. Your winner will be car number 17, Bobby Stacy. Finishing second is the 07 of John Morgan. Somebody's happy. Third will go to Don Townsend Jr. and Bo Davis rounds out your 4-car field. The street stocks coming out on the track. Number 1 of Adam Conroy will be on the pole. Car number 2, or outside of him, I think that's the 95 of Mike Litchfield. Inside row number 2 is car number 36. I'm not sure on the driver's name. Then Ron McManus outside of him, 52, Jerry Williams. Green flag comes out and we are racing. You know, that's the 99 car of Dan Mesgrave, not the 95 of Litchfield, as I called earlier. So sorry about that, Dan. That's car number 99, Dan Mesgrave, running second behind the number 1 of Adam Conroy, your leader. Third belongs to the 36 of Chris Keene, Jerry Williams fourth, the 23 car. Oh, and we got one spinning. It is the 36 of Chris Keene's. And waiting to see if he's going to get it going. And red flag comes out. Chris Keene's does not find the fire underneath that car. And we'll have a red flag. White flag already being shown to the field. We should get green flag as they go by the stripe this time. Adam Conroy, your leader. Dan Masgrave running second. Jerry Williams third. Ron McManus holds on to that fourth position. In fifth belongs to the 23 machine, and I don't have a name on that driver. And we got one spinning. It's the 23 machine, the mystery driver. He spins over in turn 4. Your leader still the one of Adam Conroy. Dan Misgray running second. Jerry Williams third. 23 machine gets it rolling again. We stay green. Adam Conroy, your leader. Running second is Dan Mesgrave, Jerry Williams, and Ron McManus round out the top 5. 4. We're about to count, I'd be dangerous. Car number 1, Adam Conroy, still your leader as he has from the outset. White flag, 1 lap to go for Adam Conroy, your leader. And your winner, car number 1, Adam Conroy. And now your lineup for heat race number 2 for the Street Stocks. Kevin Lococo in the 39 of John Beverly. Mike Litchfield in the 95, the 61 of Chris Meyer. Inside row number 3 is the 4 of Phil Gussler Jr. Outside is the 87 of John Sadinsky. Then the 21 of Danny Brown, and I was concentrating on the Danny Brown car and did not see the car that was behind or outside of him. Green flag. Sure who that is. Can't quite read the numbers there on the back. Know who's leading this one. It's the 3 car of Kevin Lococo. 95 Mike Litchfield running second. Third belongs to the 39 of John Beverly. And good battle for fourth between Chris Meyer and Phil Gussler Jr. in the 4 machine. Lococo still your leader in the 3 car. Mike Litchfield holding down that second position as Chris Meyer and the 87 of John Sadinsky now do battle for that 6th position. Running 5th is the 21 of Dan Brown. And now Sparks coming from the 3 of Kevin Lococo, your leader. Doesn't seem to be slowing him down though, however. Kevin Lococo still your leader as John Beverly pulls right on the back bumper of the 95 of Mike Litchfield. Danny Brown moves to the high side of Phil Gussler Jr. in the 21 machine. Dan Brown in the 21 machine, Phil Gussler Jr. in the 4 machine. That battle for 4th position. White flag, 1 lap to go for your leader, car number 3, Kevin Lococo. Mike Litchfield running 2nd. John Beverly 3rd. 4th is a battle between Phil Gussler Jr. and Danny Brown. Your winner will be car number 3, Kevin Lococo. Mike Litchfield, John Beverly, Phil Gussler Jr., and Danny Brown rounds out your top 5. Once again, your winner, car number 3, Kevin Lococo. Top 4 will transfer into tonight's feature. Bobby Porter, Russ Harper. Row number 1. Jim New in the 41, inside row number 2. Outside of him will be the 85, Robert Jewell. Next is the 50 car, I believe that's Randy Wilson. I don't have a name for the 68. The green flag comes out, we're racing, and Jim New with a spin coming right out of turn number 4, the 41 machine. He spins into the infield. And we stay green, Jim New out of the way in the infield, and we are racing for the street stock last chance race. Now the caution, or no, the green flag, that was the green flag being raised by flag Jim Paul. Just let the drivers know for sure that no, we have not went to caution. 55, Bobby Porter, your leader. Then it's Russ Harper and the 22, Bubba Parsons. Robert Jewell holds on to that 4th and final transfer position. And Bubba Parsons looks to the high side of Russ Harper down the front straightaway. Car number 22, Bubba Parsons, battling for 2nd with Russ Harper in the 10 machine. Bobby Porter still your leader, but here comes Bubba in turns 3 and 4. Side by side through turns 1 and 2. Bobby Porter inside. 22 of Bubba Parsons outside. Now Bubba takes over the lead down the back straightaway. And across the stripe, car number 22, Bubba Parsons, your leader. Bobby Porter runs 2nd. Then it's the 10 of Russ Harper. And running in that 4th and final transfer position is the 92 of Chris Dodds. Car number 22, Bubba Parsons, still your leader. Bobby Porter, Russ Harper, Chris Dodds. Now Dodds looks to the high side of Russ Harper going into turn number 3. White flag, 1 lap to go for your leader, car number 22, Bubba Parsons. And your winner, car number 22, Bubba Parsons.
big back there, isn't it? Oh, yeah. we all race, and we all race hard, and we all race to win. Want to mention some sponsors real quick? Don't have it. Just ask. I was hitting at that, guys. They need help with a car. He's a winner. It's a family tradition, and the Gibsons once again bring it home. How about another round of applause for your feature winner, Gene Lee Gibson from Richwood, Ohio.
And now it's time for the Columbus Motor Speedway Limited Sportsman 30-lap feature event. Inside row number 1 will be the number 51 of Sam Spadero. Outside of him is the number 10 of John Strobel. Inside row number 2 is 22 Donald Parsons and the 93 of Jamie Hunt. Row number 3 is car number 2 on the inside. That's Don Gregory Jr., And outside of him, the 26 of Scott Stevens. In row number 4, inside, car number 5 is Bob Grubal, and the 77 of Tom Jones will be outside of him. In row number 5, car number 91, Sean Gray, and the 25 of Jimmy Kidd. Row number 6 is made up of the 66 of Paul Baker Jr. inside, and the 24 of Jim Whitridge outside. And in row number 7, car number 42, Phil Gussler Sr., and the number 31 of Jim Hersey. Row number 8 finds the 43 of Mike Schweier and the 50 of Jeremy Dennis. And in row number 9, car number 23, John Matthews and the 61 of Mark Jordan. In row number 10 is the 16 of J.R. Groves and the 19 of Mark Freibot. And in row number 11, car number 7, John Farrell and the 99 of Tim Wheeler. And out back all by himself in row number 12, car number 83, Brian Goodflesh. Problems. I believe that was the 24 Jim Whitridge wide on the start. Almost coming up and hitting the turn 4 wall, but kept it out of the wall. And we are racing. We stay green. Your leader is the 51 of Sam Spadero. The high side, Donald Parsons makes it around. New leader, car number 22, Donald Parsons. Sam Spadero runs second. John Strobel battling for third with Don Gregory Jr. Now Strobel moves to the side of Sam Spadero for that second position as some cars do a little off-track excursion in turn 4. Donald Parsons, your leader. Battle for second between Sam Spadero and John Strobel side by side, as is the battle for fourth position between Don Gregory Jr. and the 91 of Sean Gray. There's a good look at the 22 of Donald Parsons and Sean Gray, Jamie Hunt, Don Gregory Jr., Sam Spadero. And we got a couple cars getting together down the front straightaway. Jim Whitridge and Mark Jordan, and Whitridge almost doing a flip over as he crawled up onto the top of the 61 of Mark Jordan. Replay as we follow the leaders through. There's Donald Parsons, car number 22. Your second place battle with Sam Spadero, John Strobel, and others. And then by the time we get to the cars, the 24 Jim Whitridge is already on top of the 61 of Mark Jordan. Strobel, Don Gregory Jr., and Sean Gray, your top 5. Sean Gray now getting around several cars. He runs second. 51 of Sam Spadero third. The 2 of Don Gregory Jr. is in the fourth position as John Strobel continues to slip back in the 10 machine. Donald Parsons your leader, but Sean Gray to the high side, going into turns 1 and 2. They're side by side. Coming out of turn 2, down the backstretch, still side by side. Slight advantage to Sean Gray in turn 3. Down the front straightaway, Sean Gray, your new leader in the 91 machine. Donald Parsons now runs second. Third, a battle between Don Gregory Jr. and Sam Spadaro. And we got a car spinning over in turn 2. That's the 42, Phil Gussler Sr. Flag already being shown to the field. We should get a green flag this time. And we're back to racing. Sean Gray, your leader. Battling in there, 4-car battle for the 3rd position. Sean Gray still your leader, and the 22, Donald Parsons, with a problem. He's off the pace. He pulls into the infield. Your second place car, Don Gregory Jr. now second. Donald Parsons takes it to the infield. 91, Sean Gray still your leader. One spinning down the backstretch into the wall. That's the 83 Brian Goodflesh. Also the 7 John Farrell. Looks like the 99 and Tim Wheeler involved in this incident. We're still under caution. 11 laps complete. 91 Sean Gray, your leader. And it's the 2 of Don Gregory Jr. 51 Sam Spadaro. 20 is Mike Brown, and the 93 of Jamie. Go back to green flag racing. Jamie Hunt looks like the 4th place car, the 20, Mike Brown. And now Jamie Hunt takes over that 4th position. 91, Sean Gray, still your leader. 2, Don Gregory Jr. runs in second, and now Jamie Hunt battles Sam Spadaro for that 3rd position. And we got one stopped on the front stretch, the 26, Scott Stevens, flat tire. Your top 5. And Jamie Hunt wasting no time, moves to the high side and around Sam Spadaro for 3rd. Car number 93, Jamie Hunt, the man on the move. 91, Sean Gray, still your leader. Don Gregory Jr. runs second. Jamie Hunt 3rd. Mike Brown now looks at the high side of Sam Spadaro for that 4th position. And Hunt closing on the 2 of Gregory as Mike Brown gets around the 51 of Sam Spadaro. Here comes Jimmy Pitts. Sean Gray, still your leader. As the 93 of Jamie Hunt looks to the high side of Don Gregory Jr. battle for 2nd. Gregory Jr. inside, Jamie Hunt outside. As Jimmy Kidd moves to the high side of Sam Spadaro. Don Gregory Jr. Jamie Hunt continue to battle for that 2nd position. Sean Gray continues to run away with the lead. Still side by side for 2nd. And now smoke coming from the Don Gregory machine. leader is still Sean Gray, the 91 machine. And a lot of smoke showing from the 2 of Don Gregory Jr. Look at the smoke that's coming from the Don Gregory Jr. machine. He runs third now. Jamie Hunt in that second position. Your leader is Sean Gray. Sean Gray in heavy lap traffic now. Goes around Tom Jones and Mark Graybot. Looking for the leader, Sean Gray. And we got some cars spinning. That's Tom Jones in the 77 machine. And the 93 of Jamie Hunt. And I think it's a blown motor for the 42 of Phil Gussler Sr. Well, we got caution on the track. We're also going to take a look at the 2 of Don Gregory Jr. And we'll have some cleanup time, so we'll be back to green flag racing in just a moment. 26 laps now complete. 91 of Sean Gray, your leader. 93 of Jamie Hunt will start right on his back bumper when the green flag comes out in second. The third place belongs to Don Gregory Jr. Then comes the 20 of Mike Brown and the 25 of Jim Kidd now showing in the top 5. 26 laps complete, 4 more laps to go. Just 2 laps to go for Sean Gray, your leader. 93 Jamie Hunt, Don Gregory Jr., Mike Brown, and Jimmy Kidd. White flag, 1 lap to go for Sean Gray, your leader. Coming out of turn number 4, car number 91, Sean Gray, your winner. Jamie Hunt, Don Gregory Jr., Mike Brown, and Jimmy Kidd round out your top 5.
You were trying to get involved in Jimmy Kidd's interview before back in the pit. I was saving this because I knew you were going to win tonight. Well, I figured Jimmy would have made it up there with me. I was kind of concerned with him, but he must have got stuck in the traffic or something. We got out early and we got a good break. Got to go real quick. You got out there and roared around everybody, but then you got into that lap traffic, too wide in front of you, a lot of rookies. Were you nervous? Yeah, I just want to take my time. I knew if I stayed down close up to them, ain't nobody else going to go around me. me, so I just take my time and don't rattle those guys and get around them. We have a good, clean race. Anybody need to thank real quick? Yeah, I'd like to thank Virgo Trucking, Athletes Racing, Parts, Baker Automotive, Architect Labs, the Big Group. We're doing an excellent job this year. We're probably about 50% of what's going on here. I mean, they don't just me, it's what's going on in the garage, so we're doing a good job.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, feature win. We had the Midgets before, but this is the Fighting Midget division this year. How about a big round of applause for Sean Gray?
And now your lineup for the super late model feature, 40 lap feature. Inside, row number 1 is the 23 of Jerry Jones. Outside of him, the number 11 of Scott Drake. Row number 2 is the 47 of Larry Harris and the 92 of Donnie Renner. Inside row number 3 is the 61 of Mike Ward and the 9 of Dan Eves outside of him. In row number 4 is car number 29, Kevin Miller, and the 35 of Buddy Schrock. Row number 5 is the number 0, Don Zero Hill, and the number 7 of Dick Dunleavy Jr. outside of him. Inside, row number 6 is the number 81 of Don Wetnall and the number 1 of Terry Humphrey. Row number 7 is the number 31, Buddy Townsend, and the 06 of Kevin Herron. Row number 8, car number 2, Chris Moore, 97, Rob Patrick. Row number 9, number 6, Jerry Mitchell, and the 59 of Burgess White. Row number 10, number 75, Ted Johnson, 33, Dean Fusco. Row 11, Gary Carter and Ken White, and in row 12, Bill Cantley and Fred Reichert. White flag already being shown to the field. We should get green flag this time by the stripe. And Jerry Jones with a spin. And we got a lot of cars that got together over there in turn 4. Jerry Mitchell, the number 6, 75, Ted Johnson, 29, Kevin Miller. So before we even started, we got a caution. Complete 2-wide restart. Restart. That was a false start. Here we go again. Third time's the charm. Scott Drake leads lap number 1. Jerry Jones runs second. Third belongs to Larry Harris. And we got one spun over in turn 4. It's the 01 of Fred Reichert. White flag being shown to the field. We should get green flag next time by the stripe. Scott Drake, your leader. Jerry Jones, Donnie Renner, Larry Harris. And we got him spinning over in turn 4. Larry Harris. Dick Dunleavy weaves his way through. So does Zero Hill. Looks like Dan Eves down in the infield. Dean Fusco, Chris Moore. Nose to nose over in turn 3. Caution. 3 laps complete.
Scott Drake, Jerry Jones, Donnie Renner, Kenny Eves, and Dick Dunleavy Jr. Your top 5. Look through the high side of Donnie Renner. Jerry Jones still runs in second. Danny Eves now working on Donnie Renner for that 3rd position. Their leader still Scott Drake in car number 11. As Buddy Schrock looks to the inside of Dunleavy. Danny Eves continues to work on the high side. Now he works on Jerry Jones. As Donnie Renner is right there in the 92. Danny Eves continues to battle with the 23 Jerry Jones. Now he slips back just a little bit. Jerry Jones takes a 2nd spot over. Scott Drake still your leader. Donnie Renner runs in 4th, and Dick Dunleavy Jr. and Buddy Schrock battle for that 5th position now. Kenny Eves looks to the inside of Jerry Jones coming out of turn 2. A little bit of contact out the backstretch. Danny Eves takes over that 2nd spot. Donnie Renner will try to get underneath Jerry Jones for 3rd. And Buddy Schrock now looks to get around for 4th as Jerry Jones continues to slip back in the 23 car. Your leader is still the 11 of Scott Drake. Donnie Zero Hill looking to the inside of Jerry Jones now. Jones continues to slip back in that high groove. Buddy Schrock now looks to the high side of Donnie Renner, and Zero Hill is also right there in the Zero machine. Renner and Buddy Schrock continue to battle for that 3rd spot, and now Schrock takes over 3rd. Kenny Eves runs 2nd, and Scott Drake still your leader. Making around the lap car, Kenny White now. Now Zero Hill looks to the inside of Donnie Renner. Drake still your leader. Danny Eves runs in second. Buddy Schrock right on his back bumper in third. Johnny Renner and Dick Dunleavy battle for the 5th position, and Zero Hill runs in 4th. Buddy Schrock working on the back bumper of Danny Eves as Donnie Renner and Dunleavy battle side by side. So does the Eves and Schrock machine. Schrock inside, gets around Danny Eves. Buddy Schrock now runs second, and he'll set his sights on the leader, Scott Drake, in the 11 machine. And the gap visibly closes down the backstretch. Buddy Schrock's catching the 11 of Scott Drake. Closing a little bit more, going into turn 3. Scott Drake, your leader, but here comes Buddy Schrock in the 35 car. Coming up on lap traffic very shortly. Scott Drake, car number 11. Your leader, but Buddy Schrock right there on his back bumper. Drake slips wide in turns 3 and 4, and Buddy Schrock caught up in a hurry. And now looking to the inside, going into turn 3. Touch, and Drake goes around. Caution on the track. A little touch from Buddy Schrock, and Scott Drake just went around. Danny Eves, your leader. Zero Hill running second, and it's Dick Dunleavy, Donnie Renner, and Kevin Miller. Scott Drake and Buddy Schrock both going to the tail. And we were going to get a start, but now we're not. Just a moment. The lineup is correct, and we're ready to go racing. Danny Eves, Zero Hill, Dick Dunleavy, Donnie Renner, and we got them spinning over in turn 3. Jerry Jones in the 23 car over there, showing some flames. Looks like Larry Harris involved, Ted Johnson. Raw fuel burning off on the 23 machine. Buddy Schrock might have been involved in that. You see some damage on his car, on the rear quarter panel. Once again, we're under caution. 31 of the 40 laps now complete. Danny Eves, Zero Hill, Dick Dunleavy Jr., 92 of Donnie Renner, and the 29 of Kevin Miller, your top 5. And the green flag flies, and a problem with Danny Eves. The 9 car not getting up to speed. Your leader is now the 0 car of Donnie Zero Hill as Danny Eves pulls it into the infield. Dick Dunleavy Jr. runs second. Third will belong to Donnie Renner in the 92 machine. Your leader, Donnie Zero Hill. Dunleavy Jr. right on his back bumper. Donnie Zero Hill, your leader. Now looking to the high side. Dunleavy. Hill battle back down the back straightaway. This one's 3 and 4. Your leader once again. Donnie Zero Hill. Dick Dunleavy Jr. running in second. White flag, 1 lap to go for your leader, Donnie Zero Hill. Dick Dunleavy Jr. running in second in the 7 machine. And your winner, car number 0, Donnie Zero Hill. Dick Dunleavy Jr. will come home second. Your 25 lap street stock feature. Inside row number 1 is the 95 of Mike Litchfield. Outside him, the 61 of Chris Meyer. Then it's the number 4 of Phil Gessler Jr. and the 87 of John Sadisky in row number 2. Row number 3 is the 21 of Dan Brown and the 97 of Mark Life. Inside row number 4 is the 17 of Bobby Stacy. Outside of him, the 18 of Bo Davis. Car number 07 in row 5 inside is John Morgan, and the 3 of Kevin Lococo outside of him. Row number 6 is the 52 of Jerry Williams, and outside of him the number 23 car, no name on that driver. Row number 7 is the number 7 of Doug King inside, and outside of him the 53, Ron McManus. In row number 8, car number 81 is Rick Lawwell, and the 36 of Chris Skeens outside of him. In row number 9, car number 99, Dan Mascray, and the number 1 of Adam Conroy. In row number 10, car number 39 is John Beverly, and the 55 of Bobby Porter. In row number 11, car number 22, Bubba Parsons, and the 77 of Don Townsend Jr. And in row number 12, car number 10, Russ Harper, and the 92 of Chris Stodds. White flag already being shown to the field. We should get green flag next time by the start. 25 street stock racing laps.
Coming around out of turn number 4 to lead lap number 1, car number 95, Mike Litchfield. Good battle going on a little bit farther back in the pack. We see the John Sadisky machine move up on the outside, and Mark Life also squeaking back on the outside. Mike Litchfield, your leader. Chris Meyer running second. Phil Gessler third. Dan Brown at the 21 machine holding down that 4th spot. And problems over in turn 4. As we got several cars getting together over there, and that'll bring out a caution. And let's take a look at this incident from the front stretch camera. Bo Davis involved. Several cars involved in a big way. And now you know why we had a red flag. We'll get this problem squared away and we'll be back to racing in just a moment. Picking up the speed through turns 3 and 4. Green flag comes out and we're racing once again. Mike Litchfield, your leader. Chris Meyer running in second. It's Phil Gessler and Dan Brown rounding out your top 4 right now. And a car with a spin, that's the 10 of Russ Harper, spins over into the infield in turn 2, makes it through and goes back out on the back straightaway, no red flag. Mike Litchfield, still your leader. Danny Brown now looking to the high side of Phil Gessler in the 21 machine. Gessler in 4, Brown in 21. John Sadisky right there in the 87. John Morgan in the 07 moving up, as is Bo Davis. And Don Townsend Jr., quite right, he's had ways back in the pack. I actually think my lineup was wrong. He wasn't that far back, but he was at least 10th or better back in the pack, and now he is battling in the top 4 cars. Don Townsend Jr., car number 77, right behind Danny Brown on the outside. Mike Litchfield, still your leader. Chris Meyer, Danny Brown battling for second. Don Townsend Jr. runs 4th. And Morgan sideways gathers it back in, but that creates a log jam behind him. Morgan looking back to get back underneath the Phil Gessler machine, and does so as Danny Brown continues to work on Chris Meyer in 61 for that second position. 4th belongs to Don Townsend Jr. 5th is the John Morgan machine. Got a couple cars getting together down the back straightaway. Bo Davis involved in that. Kevin Lococo sitting there. Lococo finds the fire and he gets going, and here comes the leaders. Bo Davis pulls it into the infield. Damage on that car, front and rear. Battle still for second between Don Townsend Jr. and Chris Meyer now. Danny Brown dropping back to that 5th position. John Morgan right there in 4th in the 07 machine. The leader still Mike Litchfield.
And now we got a new leader, car number 77, Don Townsend Jr. John Morgan will get around the Litchfield machine for second. So first and second changed. Mike Litchfield now runs third. Then comes Chris Meyer, Danny Brown, and Bill Gessler. Don Townsend Jr., your leader. Coco managing to stay out in front, and therefore he stays on the lead lap. Just right in front of your leaders as John Morgan takes a look to the inside of Don Townsend Jr. down the backstretch, but can't quite get the job done. Danny Brown running third. Fourth belongs to Mike Litchfield. Then comes Chris Meyer and Bill Gessler. Still your leader. John Morgan running in second. Don Townsend Jr., your leader, not John Townsend Jr., which is what I think I said. And John Morgan running second. Third belongs to Danny Brown, still in the 21 machine. Danny Brown in 21, and battle for fourth between Mike Litchfield and Chris Meyer. White flag, 1 lap to go for your leader, car number 77, Don Townsend Jr. John Morgan running second, in lap traffic. And your winner will be car number 77, Don Townsend Jr. The 07 of John Morgan comes home second. Third will go to Danny Brown, fourth to Chris Meyer, and fifth to Phil Gessler. Once again, Don Townsend Jr., your winner.
Lee Gibson, the winner in the NAMARS Championship Midget Series. In the Sportsman Division, it was Sean Gray, the late model feature winner. It was Zero Hill and in Street Stock, Don Townsend Jr. With this report.
Well, earlier tonight in the midgets, I said it about Gene Lee Gibson. His dad used to run sprints and super modifieds all over Ohio. Second generation. This is no different. You're following Dad's shoes too, winning.
Yeah, my dad drove a lot of super modified sprint cars, open wheel cars everywhere around the world, and I'm following right in his footsteps, but he won't take my fenders off.
Well, that's good because you're winning in this division. Who do you want to thank?
I want to thank. Actually, I'm driving a late model for T&M Motorsports, and their motor is in this car tonight. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here. My sponsors, Jack Maxton, Dan Burns, Hell's Car Salesman, the gallery, hair and nail. I'll come there, I'll do your nails.
Ladies and gentlemen, as always, one of the most exciting events of the night is this feature.
And my crew, my dad, Jake Wallace, Troy Hayes, Carol Hayes, everybody helps me. Thank you.
He deserves a round of applause. Your feature winner, Donnie Townsend Jr.
I have some of the Gibson boys back down here next Saturday night.
I would like to thank you for buying this Pinstroke Productions at the Track videotape. Keep in mind that not only do we videotape here at Columbus Motor Speedway each and every week, but also Killcare Speedway in Xenia, Ohio, for the NASCAR Winston Racing Series here in Ohio at the Track Race Videos. Thank you once again for buying this Pinstroke Productions videotape. My name's Nate Pennington. I want to thank you for my wife Kim and my partner Bill Yo, and we will see you next week at the track.
Speedway for the NASCAR